Surfing session 215. This is a special father-daughter surfing session. I took my daughter Gabi surfing on Saturday of the long Independence Day weekend. This was the highlight of my weekend. I walked out with her at low tide in nice clean waves, glassy, and they were about 1 to 2 feet tall. I pushed her into several nice waves and she popped up and stood tall on the board, riding a few nice waves on my blue softtop longboard. I'm so proud of her that she took an interest in trying to surf out with me. This summer she's been interested in trying and learning new things, which is awesome. Here are a few tips for other fathers who are taking their kids out there surfing. For pop-ups, during the session, I first taught her the basics of the beginner two-step pop-up with the board on the sand at the beach. She had to keep her body centered on the board and keep her toes pointing toward the tail area of the board, and then arch her back to keep her head high. Then for her pop-up, she was practicing the two-step pop-up, which means she first slides her back foot forwards into position and then uses her two arms and back foot to lift her body up while arching her back, and then she pulls her front foot through her hands to land in position. Then she simply lifts her hands up off the board and keeps each arm over the left and right rails of the board to stay balanced. This is key as it helps you balance on the board as if you're riding a bike. She was able to balance on top of the board for a few seconds on several runs. I also taught her about positioning. I told her that we were looking at where the waves were breaking and creating these whitewater triangles in the water. We wanted to walk out to a point slightly past the top of the white triangle. That would put us in the position to catch the next wave, which would hopefully break in a similar location. As this is a beach break, the waves break all over the place, but that helps a lot. During the session, I wanted to teach her safety tips to keep her from getting hurt on the board. For example, I instructed her to try to end her rides by jumping off to the back or to the side of the board, but never to the front of the board where she might get hurt. I also taught her to cover her head and face if she went underwater so that when she came up, she would not hit her head on the board. As we walked out to where the waves were starting to crest, I taught her how to carry the board out by the nose with the rest of the board behind her so that she would not get hurt also. And if a wave was going to crash on us, I told her to just swim under the wave, and I just held the board myself and kept it to her side to avoid hitting her. Next time we go, I'll have her paddle around more with the board and do a few paddles before each pop-up. I'll also try to teach her to become more independent with the board too. That way, I can start surfing with her. Here's a clip of me riding a wave on the blue board. This board has a fun story. My neighbor Simon found it left out for trash on the block because it was old. He took it to me and offered it to me. I told him, it seems like it's seen better days and he should keep it for himself. But then he said no. He said he had his own board and he was a beginner and wanted to learn, and that if I took it, I could learn to surf with him. Thanks, Simon. My daughter took two surfing classes while we were on vacation in Costa Rica. She loved it. I'll leave a link to that video in the comments. Hopefully you'll love that too. I hope you like this video, and I hope it gives other fathers ideas on how to take their kids out surfing and push them into waves. If you have any friendly tips, please share them in the comments. I'd love to hear any friendly tips from you. This is part of my surfing progression playlist. I've got other family fun videos on my YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching.